Hi, I'm Matt Blake. I'm a carpentry instructor at Fort Hays Career Center. Thank you for choosing the carpentry program. There's many great programs you could have chosen. Very happy that you've chosen my program. Tell you a little bit about myself. I have been in the field of construction since I built my first thing out of wood when I was in seventh grade, a stereo cabinet with my neighbor next door. That gave me the bug to want to build things. The things you build, the more you want to do it because you can see that you can take a small stack of wood and make something out of it. It's very powerful for you to be able to do that. So I've lived a great life where I've been able to create many things that were either framing a house or trimming $1 million house with curved staircases and everything in between. I've been in the field doing all these things, and now I've come to find out that it's just been preparing me to share all of the experiences with you. So that's my main thing that I'm doing this, that I'm a teacher now, is because I would love to be able to share what I've learned over the last 30 years of my life um, with you so you can succeed. It's, it's, uh, it's, it's not necessarily that I want you to be a carpenter. I want you to be a good employer. Both. It's very important for us to be able to get along with other people. That's part of something else that I try to get the class to get together. When you go out in the field, there's so many different people that are in the field that you different attitudes, different people that you know might not talk to on a regular basis, but you have to deal with them because you're working with them. Okay, so that's something else we learn how to deal with people. Um, so I am very grateful that I get the chance to share things with you that I've got to learn. Um, so let's just go straight into the classroom, okay? And oh, this back here, this is my shop. Since I get into the school to do it, I decided I would go ahead and do this talk from my shop. Last 15 years, I've built out of here and several other projects that I've done in here. I currently build guitars too, and so it's an ongoing thing for me to build. I don't think I could ever stop creating things. So that's the kind of thing I want you guys to get from me. Okay, I'm excited about building things, and I'm very excited about sharing them with you. So our classroom rules are pretty simple. I don't want any food in the classroom or the lab. We have a class. We have a lab, and I don't need any cell phones on unless I've asked you to have them on. No earbuds, no cell phones on. When we're in the classroom, I need you to be learning in the class. We have a certain amount of paperwork to get done. I always say paperwork gets you paid, and that is the truth. Um, so no cell phones. Everybody that comes to the career center should be dressed professionally. Professionally means you don't have ripped up pants. Your pants are not sagging. Uh, those are safety hazard things. Anything that's deemed offensive by the school board on your shirt, you'll either have to turn it inside out or not wear that, or nothing too revealing, because you don't want to get hurt on the job site. So you don't want to get hurt in a lab, or it's just a professional courtesy that we ask you guys to adhere to. So dress has to be a certain way. Also, the rules in the classroom is I wish for you to be respectful to who's speaking, whether it be me or another student, because everybody needs to be heard. If somebody has a question, I need to hear what it is. Or if we're having a discussion, we all need to hear what we're talking about. So one person speaks at a time, and that usually is great. Okay. The other rule that I like to uh, is well, it's not necessarily a rule, but when I was in sixth grade, it helped me out through the rest of my life. A teacher talked to me about self, respect, and responsibility. Okay, and I've applied those lessons that she taught through my life, and it's helped me deal with all different people and myself, and make myself accountable for the things that I do. So it's a good learning thing. Um, we have a daily grade that I grade you on. It's very important because some students do great at bookwork. Some students do great in the lab. But the way that I grade you in the lab, other than the project that we do, grade you on the projects and your the curriculum that we study. I also grade you on your professionalism, your safety, your participation, and following direction. Uh, we'll just go right with safety. Safety has to do how you act around people that's using tools. The fact that you have your PPE on, which is your personal protection equipment. Okay, that would be your hard hat, your glasses, your boots, your high vis vest that you'll be getting, and your uniform. Okay. Uh, Moving on from your uniform, professionalism is we require you to wear your shirt and all your safety gear when you're in the lab. No questions asked. That has to happen, or you lose your professional and your safety points. So you need to be in uniform, ready to work. You need to be there on time. If you show up 3 minutes after the bell rings, well, you lose all your points. If you get there when the bell rings, you may get your point, but I take points off for when you just get there. I expect for you to be in your seat, ready to learn when the bell rings. Okay. So just like when you show up on a job site, you show up on a job site and you pull in the parking lot at 7 o'clock. Your boss doesn't know you're there at 7 o'clock because you haven't actually got to the job meeting until 7:05. So you need to be there early enough to be ready to learn when the bell. Okay, that is part of professionalism. It's also how you handle yourself with other students and other instructors. Because other instructors and other adults and other administrators will be coming through my classroom a lot. So I need your professionalism of how you deal with other people. Language has been a problem. People have a conception that people in construction can say and do whatever you want to. Well, I've been on job sites where people use foul languages and say whatever they want to. But quite honestly, the jobs that I made the most money on and the jobs that most of the people there were making good money, there's a professionalism about it. You have to be working next to somebody that's not in construction. You'd be working in a hospital over here in this part, and on the other side of the wall, there's life going on the other side. So you have to know how to handle yourself in that situation. So that's part of the professionalism that I'm trying to get you to understand. Participation, that's pretty much what it says. Participation is that when you are in the classroom, you are doing the classwork. You are getting involved in the discussion, the handout, the book report, or the uh, little projects that we do in there. We have 9 modules of a book that we have to get through. We have to get through. I always say, paperwork gets you paid. So we have to do our paperwork. All right. And then the last thing is following directions. Following directions to me seems like it should be an easy thing for us to understand, but it's different in the real world. In the real world of construction, um, your boss is not going to go up and say, "Hey, if you second when you get around to it, not no hurry, can you move that stack of wood over here, please? Could you do that?" So normally in the job site, people don't have that much time. They'll be nice and say, "Hey, could you please move this over here? I need this moved over here. We've got a truck coming." And that's all that guy's going to tell you. You need to move that over because something's happened. Okay, so that's the kind of thing you with is that if I ask you something to do something a little extra, it's not necessarily that I'm trying to punish you. I actually it's a compliment because I'm going to ask the people that I know will get stuff done to do things for me. Okay. And that's the person you want to be. You want to be the person that the employer can count on. Because if you're that person, well, you're going to have a job and, okay, promotion, more money. That's all the good stuff. Okay. So that is the four categories that I grade you on, and they're all worth 5 points apiece. So you get 20 points every day for free as long as you follow the rules and do what you're asked to do, participation and the safety. So those are the points that I grade you on every day. We test, kind of rolls us into the NCCER program that we have. It's a certification. A lot of things that we do in my class helps you with your resume. The resume building thing, the NCCR is not an exception. The NCCR has a very thorough way of going through the construction field. Okay, there's 9 modules with different sections of modules. There's footings, foundation. The first few lessons is on tool safety and how to use tools properly, which is we have to get through that before we start doing anything else. We need to make sure it's safe because these tools don't care what you what finger or what cuts what it cuts off. It's a dangerous place, so we have to follow safety procedures and get you to that point. But the book, we are going to be building a shed this year for Habitat for Humanity. We've done this the last 2 years I've been here. It works out great. The cool thing is somebody that's getting a house for Habitat for Humanity. You're helping them. You earn your points for your internship hours. Anything you do in the shop that we're doing for someone else, you get your internship hours. So most of the time, if you're in my class, your internship hours get covered quite quickly. But the NCCR class, we're going to start doing like the deck work, okay? It teaches you how to frame a deck. But we're going to go out in the lab after we study about it. We're going to go out in the lab. We're going to actually do it, okay? So we're going to learn what we learned in the book. We're actually going to go out in the lab and we're going to actually do that thing, which is great. So that gets it stuck in your head. Hey, I did this. I learned how to lay a wall out, and I learned the steps to do all that. And the things that we'll be learning in the lab, you could use for the rest of your life. So that's very cool. Lots of troubleshooting things. I'd like to show you how to logically think through some stuff to help you out in the future. So the NCCR is a nationally recognized certificate. So when that's on your resume, that employer can go to the website and see what you've studied. You can actually see everything, every module that you've done, and recognize that this person knows a whole lot more about construction than this guy that has nothing on his resume. So we're trying to help you for your future. And I hope that you're ready to build things, to learn how to read a tape measure. Right now would be a good time for you to start getting familiar with the tape measure. There is an app called the tape measure app. It's nice. I'm going to ask that you join our Google Classroom for your class, and I will post a link to that, and it will help you learn how to read the tape measure down to a 16 very quickly because it does it with your technology that you guys like so well. So other things I'd like to share with you for you to think about is that next year, while you're a junior, you'll be kind of evaluated through the counselors and administrators and the CTE office and myself about Earn to Learn program. So the main thing I want you to understand is you could be my best student, but if you don't show up every day, if your attendance is terrible, you have to have a good grade. So they don't just let you go out to work on the Earn to Learn program because you want to. We have criteria that you have to meet. And really, if you're here every day and you're doing what you're supposed to, and that's what you want to do, then we'll get you into that spot, as many spots as we have available. It varies year to year on companies. Okay, the Earn to Learn program is you work a week and get paid, and then you come back to class and you're in class for a week, and then uh, you have VCAP, which is a computer online learning program. So that if that's hard for you, then we can talk about that later. But I want you to be thinking about that coming in, knowing that your attendance needs to be good and your attitude needs to be well for you to get into these programs. There's lots of benefits to being here. Me being a guy that's been out in the field looking for help, knowing that somebody's in here teaching them the real deal stuff for construction. A lot of these companies in Columbus here are very interested in you as a student coming out to be hired because they know what you've learned in our class. So I really appreciate using the carpentry program, and I'm looking forward to a great year this year. And I thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next